My mother-in-law is my husband's soulmate. Hey my loves, welcome back again to my channel. I'm called Flavine and welcome to episode 2 of real life stories that will shock you. So this is the second scenario. If you haven't watched the first scenario, please click on this video here and go watch. Feel free to also run the playlist if you want to see all the videos that I have a whole playlist of this kind of content. So what I basically do is I get real life scenarios and then I give my takes on them, and I also let you give your comments and what you think down in the comment section. So let's go ahead and read the second one.
Am I the asshole?
So this scenario says the writer started with a background information. My mother-in-law is extremely jealous. She has told me multiple times over the years that my husband is her soulmate, that I stole him from her, and that I am just a wife. We come and go, but the mother is forever. See, this is the problem I have with some boy moms, okay? Most times you ask yourself, why is it that the daughter-in-laws always have issues with their mother-in-laws? This is the reason. This right here. I'm not going to lie. Some boy moms, I may get cancelled for this. They have like this secret competition with their sons. I don't know why. Like, I don't get it. Why would I give birth to my son and then want to keep my son just to myself? Make it make sense. Anyways, let's continue. Let me read that again. She has told me multiple times over the years that my husband is her soulmate. Your son is not your soulmate. Same thing with fathers. Your daughters are not your soulmate. Your husband or your wife is your soulmate. Stick to your place. That I stole him from her and that I am just a wife. We come and go, but the mother is forever. Nobody is disputing the fact that a mother is forever. Personally, for me, I feel like as a mom, you can love your son. It's possible you can love your children, but the love that a wife has for the son is still different. You cannot compare it. You cannot compare. It's just love, but in different ways. You can love your mother, you can love your wife. It's love, but then it's just differently. And both of them should not be competing. But your mother's love and your wife's love should not conflict or should not compete. I don't get mothers like this. It's always like, it screams narcissist to me. My kids have heard these things over the years. Wow. My son is extremely annoyed with her, but my daughter is 10 and a total people pleaser. Oh my God, I can't understand with the people pleaser. I used to be like that. Sometime in my life, where you want to be like the good child of the family, you try to please everybody. I'm not anymore, sure. And it's so sad that her children can hear their grandmother always saying this to their moms. It's so sad. The thing that pains me is that when people do these things, they don't know the repercussions that it's having on the children or people around. The mom-in-law needs to step the hell behind. My mother-in-law will message her to get information about what we are doing, and if her other grandmother, whom she is extremely jealous of, is out to visit. Wow. So the mother-in-law will message the 10-year-old little girl, because she's a people pleaser, to ask her what they are like, to ask her information about what they are doing, and if the lady's mother is there to visit or something. Why will you do that? Wow, that's really crazy, y'all. Let us all pray that we don't get to encounter mother-in-laws like this. Amen. Amen. And let our own mothers, let's also pray that our own mothers don't behave like this to our brothers' wives. Amen. Amen. And then she goes on to say, since my mother-in-law is such a jealous person, we stay pretty low contact. Otherwise, we get nasty comments and she becomes suffocating to come out and visit. I will not blame her to say. One thing about me in 2023 is that my mental health is very important. Like, I don't want anything that will stress me or anybody that will stress me. So I don't even care if we are like a very close family or something like that. Like, if I sense in my spirit, if I sense in my spirit that you're going to stress me, you're going to stress my mental health or something like that, I will distance myself from you. Is this something that I will advise as a Christian? No. But then even as a Christian, you should know when to draw the line, because I know somebody may say that, oh no, Flavine, as a Christian, we should be like Christ, we should try to make amends, but you cannot kill yourself. That's why you are not Christ. Yes, Christ is you. But then you as an individual and as a human being, you should have to know where to draw the line when something is not right, okay? So if it's me, I won't blame this girl, because if you're acting like this towards me, if I sense that you're jealous of me getting married to your son, meanwhile we should be teaming up, because the thing is that mothers don't understand this thing too, yeah? When you're doing this thing, having issues with your wife, you're stressing your son in the process, because now he is in between. He doesn't know who to support, because at the end of the day, that's my mom, that's somebody that I grew up with, that's somebody that sacrificed for me, blah 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 blah. And this is also my wife. This is somebody that I want to, the mother of my children, somebody that I want to live the rest of my life with, blah 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 blah. So at the end of the day, you're instead stressing this boy out, you're stressing the man out. So I don't get mothers who behave like this. It never makes sense to me. Like, do you not think? And then she says, how do I have a talk with my daughter not to share so many details of our life with her? I deleted several messages that were my mother-in-law asking her questions about what she was doing and who she was with when she thought my mother was out. It is starting to grow more constant. You see, this is what I'm saying here. Because this little girl now is a people pleaser, which I think that the mom should really have a talk. But then this is a 10-year-old child. How do you want to have a serious conversation with a 10-year-old? Even though you can, but then I feel like it's still this stage. Like, I don't think that children really know how to. And the fact that she's already a people pleaser, it's a bad thing. Okay, it's a bad thing to be a people pleaser. I'm telling you, it's a bad thing. Ooh. I wouldn't want to be in a situation. Now I have to explain to my child how not to be a people pleaser, how not to overshare information. Wow. Why is your mother-in-law doing this? Oh my God. And then she goes on to say, it's starting to grow more constant, but it also feels kind of yucky to delete my daughter's messages. Yeah, because even though this child is just 10-year-old, I believe in personal space and, you know, privacy. They do still talk back and forth a few times a week, and I have no problem with that. Obviously, I won't have any problem with my children speaking with their grandmother. At the end of the day, it's their grandmother, and I have no problem with that when it doesn't feel invasive on our life. Should I openly discuss this with my daughter? Should I feel like she is really too young to understand? You see, this is my point. This is what I'm talking about. This child is too young for you not to start sitting her down. At the end of the day, they are going to cloud this little girl's mind, because now she doesn't really understand. She's just like, maybe grandma is just asking me questions and I'm responding. It is the grandmother's problem. You are using a little child, you are using your grandchild for your own selfish gains, and it's not good. Why will you go behind the corners, behind the doors to ask your granddaughter questions, to know what is happening in your son's house? If you want to get information, and if you know that it's not for malicious reasons and it's not for bad reasons, why don't you go ahead and ask the daughter? Why don't you go ahead and ask your daughter-in-law? Why don't you go ahead and ask your son? Why are you going through the corners, behind the doors, asking a little girl? And like it or not, you're stressing this little girl, because in as much as she may be 10 years old, there are things that she may not want to say, she may not want to share, but because she's a people pleaser, she will just have to do it, and it's not good, okay? I don't get people who behave like this. It's very... I get this now. Now I understand why some people don't want their underage children to have numbers of adults. I get it now, because you may be trying to teach your daughter something or your children something, and then these adults will want to impose their own beliefs and systems into these children, because now at this stage in life, the grandmother is trying to contradict this child's life. Maybe the child knows that oversharing is not good, but because it's my grandmother, I have to share now. This is why parents should be careful with the kind of adults that they let their children talk with. I don't care if it's a family member, because at this stage, if you are truly a good family member and then you have these kids at heart, you will not be doing these things, okay? You will not be doing these things. But then I saw one very good comment that I want to read. The person says, the only people that have my daughter's phone number and I have same age friends. Like I was saying, any adult that wants to talk to her has to do so through my phone. I agree. As a parent, if you are an adult and you want to talk to my daughter, you have to call me. Then I pass the phone to my child. And then she was like, the calls are speaker and supervised. Very important. It's a crazy world out here. You don't know how people reason these days. And then I will step in and call out the adults for bad behavior right in front of her. That's the thing. I don't know. I'm going to be one of those mothers that I don't play with my children. Like, I know what it is, what some of the things that I have to go through. I don't think that I'm going to joke when it comes to my children. Like, I don't care who you, if I sense any bad behavior or something like towards my children, I'm going to call you out immediately, because I don't want you to trauma dump those things on my children, okay? So I just believe that if you want to talk like to children or something like that, I'm sorry, but then I believe that it will be it's very, very good to supervise. Let the phone be on speaker and call out anything that you don't like immediately, because when you do that, you make the child understand that, okay, this thing is not good, and you make your children feel comfortable, like in front of you. Like when somebody is saying something that is not right, your children will be comfortable enough to come to you and say it, because they know that you are somebody who is objective. You will call a spade, basically. Let me continue the comment. The person says it made her feel more comfortable because it took the responsibility of correcting adults for bad behavior off her plate. Yeah. She knows she can come to me when anyone makes her uncomfortable, because I've demonstrated it repeatedly. You see what I'm saying? My 10-year-old knows it's wrong, just not how to state that. She just knows it makes her uncomfortable. Make it stop, and hubby seriously needs to take a stand. This has gone on for too long. I was about to ask, where is the husband? Because at the end of the day, yeah, what I've also understood is that wisdom is profitable to direct. If, for example, my in-laws are doing something that I don't approve of, or something that I don't like, I always feel like it's not in my place to call them out of respect to, I mean, as an African, out of respect. I don't think that it's my place to call them out. Like, if they're doing something wrong, I'm explaining to my husband, and I expect him to be the one to talk to his family, because he knows them best, he knows how to communicate to them better. It may just be a little situation where I may still be saying things normally, and then my in-laws take it out of proportion. So in order for you, wisdom is profitable to direct. In order for you to keep yourself away from situations like this, just remove yourself from it, explain it to your partner, and let them handle it the way that they want to handle it, okay? So I was about to ask, where's the husband in this situation? If this thing has been going on for years, obviously I think that the husband may have sensed something or seen something, or, you know, try to deal with it the way that they can. But then I keep asking, where's the husband? Again, I don't know where I really fall in this situation, because again, I understand. I have seen, remember I said I grew up with so many family members, so I've seen situations where the husbands don't even know what to do. Like I said, they are in a state of dilemma because they are in between the ocean, okay? They don't know if they should support this end or support this end, because these two people are important to them, okay? So I can understand if the husband doesn't do anything, but then that's still not an excuse for not doing something, because you obviously have to do something, because if you don't do something, it gets worse. So after this comment, the person who posted the story came and responded saying, she and I just had a big talk about this. So this is an update. So she and I just had a big talk about this. Basically, she's talking about her and her 10-year-old people-pleasing daughter. I was surprised, but you are right. She said she knows her grandmother has serious issues. Bless that baby girl. That is a smart little girl. Bless her. She said, we talked about just letting messages go. We are just going to tell her she isn't on her phone very often. Smart. Because at the end of the day, in as much as I'm saying, call a spade, do this, you still need to understand that these are your in-laws. These are people that, whether you like it or not, you guys are going to bump into other in family functions. You guys are going to meet in one way or the other. There's nothing you can do. They will come to your house, because at the end of the day, it's their brother, it's their son, it's their family member, whatsoever it is. It's very, when it comes to these in-law issues, right, it's really tricky, because whether you like it or not, you're still going to bump into these people. You're still going to have one or two things that will bring you guys together, okay? So I always feel like just use wisdom when dealing with them. So she said that her daughter made her understand that she knows what her grandmother is trying to do, which is already a very good start, because if I'm the parent, I don't even know how I'm going to start explaining things to my 10-year-old. But for a 10-year-old already has this capacity of thinking, it's very good. It is very good. So basically, she said that they've come to a resolution whereby they are going to, you know, just give the mother-in-law excuses like, oh, maybe the daughter is not on phone, she's sleeping, she's doing. Very good. Look for something, look for an excuse, look for something to help with the situation, because at the end of the day, you don't want your daughter growing up to be a people pleaser. It never ends well. You don't want your child growing up like that. You have to explain things to her. Yes, she may be young, she may be 10 years old now, but I feel like you should start explaining things to her now so that she gets the point, so that in the future she knows what to do. And it's a child. We don't expect the child to start calling out her grandmother. It may come off as rude as well, and I will not want my children to be rude in the future. Okay, so I'm glad that they're coming to this resolution. I'm glad that they've had a little solution somehow. Let me see if she has anything that has to do with her husband. Oh, she says that she is 74, so her mother-in-law is 74 years, so her husband's philosophy is to wait it out. Oh wow, a 74-year-old woman is causing trauma and burdening a 10-year-old. Sad. The husband is saying they should wait it out, and then she says it's a source of contention in our marriage. I knew I knew that somehow it's going to be a problem, but then I don't get it. Okay, you're 74 years old and you are burdening and disturbing a 10-year-old. Does that even make sense? Some people don't grow up. Some people really don't grow up. And for me as a parent, yeah, never let your family stress out your children. I don't know, I cannot overemphasize this, okay? I cannot overemphasize it, because at the end of the day, your parents have lived their lives. If your children grow up in the future and go astray or something happens to them, you are going to regret for the rest of your life. You're going to regret it. Personally, let me say the truth. If this was my husband, I would want him to call a spade, draw the line, and make his mom understand that this thing has to stop, because his children are involved here. You don't pick family over your children. I keep saying it. I'm gonna say it again. If I have children in the future, my children come first. Okay? Yes. I'm somebody who was raised by family members. Obviously, I like to carry people along. That's another thing about me. I like to carry people along, okay? As long as you're not stressing me, we are going to be fine. As long as you're not trying to make me pick, that's the thing. I love people equally. Whether you're my child or you're not my child, I love people equally. But then I just pray that you don't have to make me choose. Because if you have to put me now in a situation where I need to choose, I'm choosing my children first, period. The husband is saying that he's just going to wait it out. What do you mean by wait it out? 74 years is a long age. Your mother still has time to live. What do you mean by you're just going to wait it out? So basically, waiting it out is like, okay, we're just going to let it go the way it's go. Maybe mama will die soon, or maybe she will get older and maybe changes. When it comes to children, we are not playing that game. We are not playing the game of chess. We are not giving ifs and ifs not. I don't have the time for that, okay? I don't have the time for people to change. Your children are involved here. Your children are involved here. And it's so sad. I don't know how people feel, okay? Personally, if I have children in the future, I will want them to be happy in their homes. I want their homes to be peaceful. I want to be that parent whereby if I see my children having issues in their homes, I want to get in and help them so that they can live peaceful. It really baffles me when I see human beings, okay, gaining joy when maybe their children, their son is having issues with their wife, or maybe their daughter is having issues with their son-in-law. How does that make sense? Because now this lady is clearly stating that this has been an issue that they've been contending with in their marriage. How are you happy as a human being? Whew, the level of narcissism that is screaming from this whole story. And then there's something that I also think about is that, have you guys noticed that it's always the evil people that live longer? Why is it always like that? I always ask like, God, why is it that you take the good people and then the evil ones, you keep them? Anyway, from a Christianity point of view, you may say that, okay, the reason why maybe some of these people live like this is because somebody once said that God is giving them the opportunity to repent and change their ways, okay? So if this husband is waiting for the mother to change, it's a lie. I always say that evil people live longer. No matter the sickness that they have, they will live longer. They will live longer. So if he's waiting for their mother to die or something to happen, it will not happen to her. So it's better you change it now, because wicked people are so spiteful and evil in such a way that they will live longer because God is giving them the opportunity to change. So if I were you, if I were you, I'll step in now while there's still time. But then, aside from all these jokes that I've been seeing here, let's look at this also from a different angle. She said that her son is her soulmate. This always comes from single mothers, not all single mothers, please don't quote me. This always comes from single mothers. This comes from mothers that are not emotionally satisfied in their own relationships. Let's say that maybe with their own boyfriends or with their own husband. So they form this bond or they form this relationship that they crave for a lot with their husbands or boyfriends that they cannot get. They tend to shift that emotions and love towards their sons in such a way that, oh wow, I think it's called emotional incest, if I'm not wrong. I think that is what is being called, in such a way that the line between a mother and a child is erased totally. And you guys, don't be surprised that mothers who act like this may have, not in all cases, please don't quote me, okay, not in all cases, but I feel like mothers who act like this or parents who act like this somehow emotionally and sexually abuse their children. I've heard of cases, terrible things are happening on this, and I pray, oh God, that this is not even the situation, okay? For me, if she's really like, she's really concerned about her husband, okay, because her husband is in a state of dilemma. If this is something that is going on and on and on and nothing has been done, she could sit her husband down and just try to ask him questions. Why is it that your mom keeps insisting that you are her soulmate? Did something happen? What happened in your past? Let's try to walk through it. Let's try to have, a conversation, because at this point in time, the mother-in-law is not just being abusive to the child. I feel like she's also being abusive to the son, because it's very selfish of you as a parent to put your needs first ahead of that of your children. You should think of your children first ahead of your own needs, right? So if she's putting her own emotions, what she wants or what she feels first ahead of what is very important for her children, it's the biggest form of narcissism, and it's abuse, like it or not, okay, it's abuse, emotional abuse, and it's just as worse as any physical abuse that you can have on somebody, because she's emotionally abusing her granddaughter and her son in this case. And to make matters worse, she's joining in the daughter-in-law into this whole issue. She's emotionally abusing these people, okay? And I just feel, personally, I'm not a fan of divorce, okay, except it comes to the case where you know that your life is being threatened. I'm not going to tell her that, oh, divorce your husband or leave. I believe in therapy. I believe in let's talk it together. Let's understand, why is this happening? Why is your mom like this? I feel like if she opens up and gives him that safe space, and I pray that he opens up and speak, okay, because a lot of people that have been abused, it's so difficult for them to speak up, okay? They always feel like they don't want to talk. They don't trust a lot of people when it comes to talking about what they've been through, okay? So it may be hard for the husband to open up, but then I just hope that maybe they can talk through it, understand, let her understand the root cause of this, because I feel like if she understands the root cause of this, she'll know how to help the husband. And if the husband has somebody who understands what he has been through, or this strange relationship that the mother has with him, because it's one thing to love your children. You can love your children without boundaries, but to say that your children are your soulmate, that's going towards, that's a relationship that you have with your spouse. So if you're now trying to have that kind of relationship with your children, there's a red light somewhere. Something is not right somewhere, okay? Something is not just right somewhere. So I do believe that they can talk through it. But then if the husband is not being receptive, is not being understanding, he doesn't understand that the daughter's mental health and well-being is involved here, and he needs to take a stand, then he should better to just go be with the mother, because I don't think that as a parent you should put your children in this kind of situation. I don't think that as a parent you should neglect what is happening to your children. Your children are like your first priority. You brought them onto this earth, they are your first priority. You need to help them, you need to guard them like with your life against anybody. Even if that person has to be your own mother, you have to do everything. So I hope that they can work out things. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. This video has been a roller coaster for me and a lot of emotions entangled. Okay, so I hope that you guys enjoyed episode 2 of Am I an Asshole? In this case, I don't think that the lady is an asshole. I feel like her mother-in-law is an asshole and she needs to back the F up. Okay, give these people a chance to grow their family, live, and you as a mother just be there to support, ask questions like, can I do this, can I, like, I just like it. I just like family members who are very intelligent and mature, you know, not people who impose into what has to happen in their children's life. Like, I just like emotionally matured parents. Okay, it's always so sweet when I see mothers or fathers that are so emotional that don't try to impose in their children's marriages. Like, they're just there as supportive secondary people in their lives. Okay, they're not like the primary people in their lives. Like, I just like it. I don't like parents who always feel they need to want to impose what they think. And see, let me say it now, you, the children in the marriage, are always the ones that have to put a stop to it, because if you don't put your foot down and put a stop to it, it will continue for the rest of your lives. Yes, I know that from the onset, when you want to put your feet down and insist that I don't want this thing, there will be emotional blackmail involved. You know, your parents will be like, oh, you don't love me. Make them understand. Put your feet down, take a stand, because if you don't do that, your marriage will be in shambles and you will never, I tell you, you will never recover. Anywho, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think of episode 2, and I cannot wait to bring you guys more real life scenarios in this video. Let me know if you're enjoying this series, what you guys think about these videos. Okay, and yeah, I'm going to see you guys in the next one. But before we go, please don't forget to like this video, comment what you think. I really want to hear what you guys have to say concerning this kind of topic. Okay, I really want to hear what you guys have to say, and also share this video with whoever you think that needs it. Thank you so much in advance, and yeah, subscribe, and I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Bye.